Nick, do you wonder why I'm wearing a hoodie and you're not?
Why, Mike?
Because it's Twin Shirt Day. This is the best of BGG.
Now, we both do board game stuff together, so we have a lot of the same shirts, and I don't live here, so whenever I get here, I'm like, you gotta change. Sometimes we just throw a sweatshirt on.
Yeah, but if you want to be twins with us, just go buy these shirts at BGG store.
That's true. That's true. All this is just BGG merch, indeed.
Wear it. You can wear it today. This is the best of Board Game Geek, a monthly kind of recap of all things.
Yeah, a little bit of news, a little bit of hotness.
Talk about the hottest games, some stuff going on with Board Game Geek. So we always start with the news. Let's get to that right now.
Our first bit of news is the BGG Con 2021 virtual auction. So a lot of times BGG has a really big library. If you've never seen it, it's shockingly large. It's amazing. It's cool to see so many games. But there are some duplicates and some games that kind of don't go traveling with them. And so they decided to auction them off with the help of the DFW Nerd Night crew, which is super, super cool. So there's gonna be a big charity auction going on at BGG Con. You can check a link in the description below for more information. And the auction money is gonna go to charity. It's gonna go to something called Cafe Momentum, which helps at-risk youth, and it teaches them culinary skills so they can get jobs and get employment, things like that, which is super, super cool. I love charity auctions. I think it's a really cool thing that a lot of parts of board game world tends to do a lot of charity, and I think that's really amazing, and it's something that's great because you can be like, hey, I want this game, let me play a little bit extra for it and help out some at-risk youth, which is really, really awesome. So check out the link in the description below and check out the charity auction.
So a little bit of really cool BGG news that happens every year around this time is the Secret Santa, the Board Game Geek Secret Santa. Now, one thing to note, the registration closes on November 6th, which isn't just a couple days, or if you're watching this happening November 6th, it's past November 6th. That's how time works. But what this is a Secret Santa where people can buy in essentially to participate. And what this means is you will be assigned some person and you're gonna get them a maximum $50 gift, a board game gift, that will come from one of their wish lists. And then if you enter in, you also will get to put a wish list of yourselves and someone's gonna buy you a $50 game. And so it becomes this whole big kind of anonymous, wonderful gift system where at some point around the holidays, a game that this person's always wanted is gonna show up at their doorstep. I think Secret Santa is a really cool concept. And I think that BGG is a great place to use the internet at large to do this in a massive scale where you can have people participate around the world and help give a little bit of happiness to somebody that you may never meet. It's really cool. They do it every year. The BGG Secret Santa is a really rad thing. It's not too late to sign up if you want to participate. Go after it and do it. Let's go down to our table to talk about the BGG hottest games of the month.
Mikey is very intrigued by Anno 1800.
I'm intrigued.
I'm really not that intrigued. You just keep me like, I'm just so curious.
I'm just so curious because you get in this game, you're trying to satisfy people's needs essentially, and they need all sorts of stuff from very simple things to very complex things. Like I need a penny farthing. You're like, well, okay, how do I get?
Who doesn't?
You have to get buildings,
big wheel.
Yeah, but you have to get all these buildings that can build other types of goods, and those goods can help you build these types of buildings that provide those types of goods. And so it seems like there's this whole kind of tech tree craziness. Now, the one thing about it for us, we typically do not like Martin Wallace games.
Not really, unfortunately.
And I don't know if this is going to be any different.
Always want to.
But I'm always intrigued by them. So that's number 10 is Anno 1800. I think it's getting into people's hands now.
Yeah, it's definitely people have been talking about it a lot for sure.
I'm just intrigued.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Let's get on.
I want to know.
He really wants to know. Let's get to number 9. Now, I'm a massive Planet Zoo fan. We've actually talked about it in a previous episode because I made Barron Park in Planet. Yeah. I love Planet Zoo. So any game about a zoo, I'm interested in. But I feel like zoos always have they're simpler games, but not Ark Nova. Ark Nova, you're trying to build a big, scientifically managed zoo, and there's all sorts of card play in it. It's by Capstone and DLP, and we're big DLP and Capstone fans. And the weight rating is 3.7, and I'm like, say more. You have a Capstone game
beefy
about a zoo that looks like it's kind of heavy. I want to play this game so. I love zoos. Who doesn't like zoos?
I know zoos are wonderful.
Zoos are great. Everyone likes animals.
Especially you're trying to build like a really scientifically focused, fantastically successful zoo, and I'm like, yes, this is
and it's from Capstone, so you know it's going to be good. You know it's going to be on the heavier side for the most part, and I'm just like, I am here for this game. I want to try this game so badly. Oh my gosh,
super excited. That's Ark Nova number 9. Mark us intrigued if that counts for anything, and also seems like a lot of other people are intrigued as well.
Yeah, let's get number 8.
So number 8 is Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls Skyrim, the board game.
Yes.
So they're taking this now kind of older, great classic video game from a long series of classic video games.
Yes, it is.
And they put it into board game form, where now you have a character trying to upgrade, get gear, enchant that gear.
Yeah, you're doing a bunch of Skyrim stuff, it seems like. Yeah, it's on GameFound right now. I looked into it a little bit because we're both big fans of Skyrim. I love Skyrim. But I've always just kind of been like, all right, video game, these big like troops on a map, like minis, video games, I've always never really been interested in. I'm like, I'll just play the video game, like to me. But this one seems cool. I think you're going on quests and stuff like that. And it seems very like you're doing a lot of typical Skyrim-y stuff. Like you said, enchanting stuff, you're building out your character, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, that seems pretty cool. Like, why not, right?
Yeah. And I'd love to hear you, like, if do you like all these, because there's a lot of them now, board game adaptations of video games.
Yeah.
I'm curious, do those strike your fancy? And if so, is Skyrim one of them? In the meantime, on to number 7.
So I lied earlier a little bit, because number 7 is Boone Lake. This is the one by Capstone and DLP, and Ark Nova is by Fjordland Spiel and Capstone. I mixed those two up. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But this is also a game that this is one of those games you look at it.
Yes.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm here for it.
Yes.
It's Capstone. It's heavier. Not even sure what you're doing.
Here you're
Don't care.
You're kind of
I like lakes.
You're kind of rediscovering a land that was inhabited once long ago. Yeah. And you're trying to like build a better life for you and the community, which is, again, something I really dig. The idea that a lot of what you're going to be doing in this game is going to help out your fellow players.
Yeah.
But you're trying to do kind of your own thing and live kind of the most prosperous life in this new land. I'm just super excited to see like whatever comes out of this. I really like the cover too, like the really pretty blue water. And the kind of sun rising over the hills.
It's so cool. And again, like any Capstone game, I'm immediately like, tell me more, And this one, it seems nice and heavy.
They're bringing over a lot of great games from elsewhere.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's got little cow meeples. I'm really excited about it.
That's what I want. There's lots of cool pieces on the boards and stuff, the player boards.
I
just want to know more.
I want to check out Boone Lake, but Boone Lake is number 7. People have been talking about it a bunch. I really want to play it. Let's get number 6 though.
So my question is, weren't there already too many bones?
I feel like at this point we have an excessive amount of bones.
Now we're expanding on the amount of bones. This is too many bones, I think, is Unbreakable.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so this is a new too many bones. So the old, I guess the original too many bones is now kind of trending again, and has been for a little bit now, because the new one is on GameFound and is like almost 3 million. It's like crushing, absolutely crushing. People be loving Too Many Bones. And Too Many Bones is very interesting. We tried it once. Didn't have the best experience, but it's one of the things we're like, we need to try this game again.
Yes.
Because we just, I think it's one of those games where it's like, you got to play it a couple of times to really start getting the flow down. Yeah. And then it really opens up,
Yeah, I think that's true. And like, it's hard to like make an argument for another game, that has had more content at such a high production level with all the neoprene mats and all the dice and everything.
Chips. And
I mean, it's successful for a reason. It's so cool when you see, like, one thing I like about BGG is you see an expansions going on, and so the base game all of a sudden gets this like rise of interest. Yeah. It's like, what is Too Many Bones to begin with?
And it's crushing me right now.
Here it is once again. It's a fan favorite for a lot of people out there. And it's a really beautiful game that we do need to give another go so we can. Because we didn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really want to try it. Yeah. Woo. Again.
That's Too Many Bones at number 6. Let's get number 5.
Number 5 has been on the list quite a bit, and that's Lost Ruins of Arnock, and that is because the Leader expansion is starting to hit people's hands. I think it was out at Essen. I don't think it's quite in the States yet.
No, but it is.
But it's on its way, so people are getting talking. And on top of that, it's still on BGA, and it's still being played literally thousands of times a month on BGA. So it's just, people love this game. We love this game. I am so excited for the Leader expansion.
I cannot wait for that expansion.
Yeah.
I need it. I want it now. It's going to take that game next level. So excited.
I want it in my life. So that's probably why it's here. It's probably going to be here for a little while, because Lost Ruins of Arnock is kind of one of those games that has just been, Lost Ruins came out around this time last year.
Yeah.
It's basically been in the hotness every single month since then.
It's an unstoppable game.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's great. So I'm okay with it.
Bam, that's Lost Ruins of Arnock number 5. Let's get into number 4. So number 4 is fresh off the announcement of a trilogy of games from Garfield Games. This is now the South trilogy. They've done
South
the North
Tigress.
Sea, the West Kingdom. Now we are in the South Tigress.
What's
And
the East going to be? The East, Kmart.
There's already
Kmart's
speculation
big in
and guests.
Australia, and Shem's in New Zealand, but maybe they're big there.
Maybe it's huge there. So this is Wayfarers of the South Tigress, which is the first game in that series. There's gonna be Wayfarers of the South Tigress, Scholars of the South Tigress, and Inventors of the South Tigress. All about gaining knowledge. And in Wayfarers, you are you're kind of exploring around because they found out way back when. They found out that basically the circumference of the Earth using math and things that was incredibly accurate without putting anything into space to look at anything. They figured out the circumference of the Earth, and so this is all about kind of gaining knowledge in years ago Baghdad. And so you are Wayfarers. You're kind of, I think, building out a tableau of cards using dice placements.
It's a lot of, that's one thing Shem said. It's like the South Tigress series is going to be much more dice based.
Yeah, they wanted to challenge themselves to find new ways to use dice and stuff. So we love the West Kingdom trilogy. We love like Raiders of the North Sea. I just love this idea of these trilogies, so I cannot be personally more pumped for this.
Like Raiders of the North Sea is by far the best of the North Sea trilogy, but the West Kingdom trilogy is like bangers all the way through. So it's like, man, like we were talking about this the other day. Like by the time Shem and Garfield is done with the East Kmart series, like this is going to be one of the most successful things in board games ever.
It hasn't been done.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. So they have cover art and stuff
It looks
for
really
these
pretty.
games.
Yeah.
It's just the announcement, but it got people hyped up because people have been wondering what's the next trilogy
What's
gonna be
next?
called?
What's next?
Now we have our answer, the South Tigress.
All right, I'm excited. That's number 4. Let's go ahead and get into number 3. Number 3 has popped up on the hotness list before because it's getting ready for a Kickstarter, and people are very excited because it is Ian O'Toole and Vito Lacerda combined, and this is Weather Machine.
They are a good combo the last number of years. They have teamed up several times. The art and mechanisms pair beautifully together. Weather Machine.
People be loving the Vito Lacerda.
They love it. You can now play it on like Tabletopia. Yeah. So now people are starting to play it and get an idea for it ahead of the Kickstarter. Which
Kickstarter drops like next week or something like that.
It's very soon, whatever it is.
And it's gonna crush. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But I mean, it's this beautiful, very large game. I couldn't even say like we know that much about it because it's just all I know is it's gonna be big. It's gonna be heavy. It's gonna have weather machines in it. So I'm guessing you're trying to build up these weather machines and maybe explore.
It seems super cool. I've looked into it a little bit, and the mechanics and stuff. They seem cool. And again, it's gorgeous. It looks cool. The meeple. I mean, Eagle Griffin does these big deluxe Vito Lacerda games, and they just like the meeples. The production value is just incredible. This one looks exactly the same. And so, yeah, I'm very interested in it. I'm sure it's going to absolutely destroy on Kickstarter.
Absolutely, and we are always intrigued. I don't know if we have brains strong enough for Vito Lacerda.
I don't know, but we're always interested. We're always interested, right? So that is number 3, Weather Machine. Vito Lacerda crushing again. Ian O'Toole is, I mean, it's been literally the hottest. We always go look at like the hot images. Weather Machine's been the hottest images for like 3 months straight now. So yeah, they're crushing. Yeah. That's number 3. Weather Machine's getting number 2.
Welcome to the world of Arrakis, Nick, because from here on out, it's all Dune.
It's all Dune. It's all Dune. Dune, a game of conspiracy and conquest and diplomacy. Sorry, there's lots. It's Dune.
There's also conspiracy.
It's Dune-y kind of stuff, right?
It's Dune stuff.
So yeah, so Dune, this game is, it seems like a reimplementation of the Dune from a couple of years ago, which was a reimplementation of the Dune from many years ago. It's kind of confusing, but you're taking one of the main houses, like area majority, some diplomacy involved. It's a game that we honestly don't have much interest in. We played the 2019 Dune, really didn't like it.
This one uses the art and screen grabs from the movie, so that's kind of cool if you want to play it into the newest version.
But Dune right now is the hottest movie, so the Dune games are super hot right now. This game, they obviously were like, hey, this new movie's coming out, let's put out this new version of Dune. And it's obviously doing very well. People are talking about it. This is a game that like I totally get why people love. I just will never love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but Dune's very cool. This is kind of the newer version of the game, and yeah.
By the looks of it, seems like it's a quicker version. That's where I'm confused. I don't know if this is exactly like
a
redo.
If you know, we're trying to figure it out. Being like, I'm confused on what exactly this is.
They all riff on the same DNA of the original Dune game at the very least. So this might be kind of a speedy version of that. But that is Dune, a game of conquest and diplomacy, number 2.
Let's get number 1. You'll never know what it is. Number 1 is Dune Imperium. You knew it was coming. Dune Imperium has been on the hotness.
Must flow.
Yeah. Dune Imperium has been here for a minute, and now the movie's out, and everyone's seeing it because the movie's great.
The movie's amazing.
And so, yeah, it's Dune Imperium. We've talked about it a billion times. People love this game.
It's cool to have had this game now. And people are excited, people are excited, people are excited, people are excited. And then finally, the thing that the game is based on is available.
It finally came out, yeah.
And you can see the characters like, oh yeah, that's a character.
Oh yeah, that's Timothy Chalamet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Chalamet's not that hard of a name.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, so Dune Imperium's been on the hotness. It's not going to go anywhere.
No,
There's an expansion still coming soon that's going to keep it on the hotness. Dune Imperium is all you need for your Dune-y goodness.
Yeah, sure.
We didn't so much love the old Dune game, but I personally like Dune Imperium better because I like the mechanisms.
I like it better, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't really love it, but I like
That's
it
fair.
better. It's hard for me to not like a game more than the old Dune. Let's be completely honest. Like, it's just not my kind of
gaming experience.
Yeah,
That's true.
not my favorite. But nonetheless, that is going to be the hotness. So very quickly, we're going to go through the 10 most played games of the month, which we always do at the very end here. Again, a lot of times it's very similar games. So we're going to start off with Gloomhaven, Mikey, which had 4,255. The Gloomhaven whole campaign
is now available.
Is now on digital. And so I'm guessing a lot of these are digital plays. And the digital version of Gloomhaven is really good, by the way.
It's really cool. We have Seven Wonders Duel at 4910 plays. A lot of those on Board Game Arena, I'm guessing.
Indeed. We have Azul with 5120.
Gotta love that. We got Magic the Gathering. You know it's good at 5231. I feel like it's lower than some other months, but
right?
here we are.
We have Lost Ruins of Arnock, of course, as we talked about. It's always on VGA. We have a 5477.
We got Terraforming Mars. Okay, we got 6306 on that one.
And then we got the classic. We got Wingspan. We got 6541. The New Crew is on.
Yeah, we got New Crew on 8,111. We got Marvel Champions
at 8,718.
And the Old Crew reigns supreme for at least 1 month.
For one more month, right.
And then it'll flip at 10,387, like a wide lead.
It's going to be the two crews forever from now on. That's going to be it.
Yeah, eventually you'll see the other crew start to slowly go down as people only play the New Crew because it is that much better somehow.
It's really good. It's really, really good. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and kick back up for some Murph picks.
So my Murph pick this month is a forum post by a user Work with Morgan who talked about their kind of process of looking at board games in terms of value and the money you spend and what that's worth and how much should you get out of a game for it to be considered worthwhile or what have you. And they kind of relayed their changing philosophy on this. And this is something that my brother and I personally have thought of a lot, is like, how do you look at kind of a night of entertainment and the cost of a game versus, if you went to the movies, for example, or to a nice dinner. Oftentimes going to the movies, especially if you're getting popcorn and drinks, if you have your family with you in particular, the price gets up there pretty quick. You could probably spend 50, 60 bucks at a movie, or you can get a $50 or $60 game. And if you play that game for an evening or 2 evenings, is that as valuable as going to the movies for a night? Because I think oftentimes we get really focused on how many times you play a game. And Nick and I in particular, now we have a large collection and that's a piece of this and stuff, and money is different for everybody, so there's no one clear answer. But for us, if we get a really couple of great experiences out of a game, that's enough for us. And so we have kind of discovered that. Now, you hope to be able to play it forever and ever and ever, but if you play it a couple times, you like it, you enjoyed it, and then you can gift it on to somebody else, you can donate it somewhere or trade it or whatever, that's good. That's a pretty good value because we would happily spend that on a dinner, never think twice about it. But the board game, you get kind of like, well, let me think about this, let me think about this, let me think about this. So it's just funny how the brain kind of works and categorizes something different. So user Work with Morgan has just kind of relayed their thoughts and how things are kind of shifting with no sort of, this is definitively right or this is the way that it is. It's just the way for them, but it kind of resonated because we have started to look at it similarly in the relation of like night at the movies, how much that piece of entertainment would cost, board game. We still think board games are an incredible value because you can keep consuming these over and over and over again. And it's just a really good value. But I think I like looking at them like a night out at dinner or checking out a movie, and that being the kind of marker for a good value for a game.
My Murph pick is a picture by Eric Garcia. And this is a picture of a real life cloth version of Patchwork, which is so freaking cool. I don't know if someone else has done this before, but I think this is the coolest idea in the whole world. So it looks like they made cloth boards and then they actually made patches of different shapes, the polygonal tile shapes. You can play the whole game and they use real buttons and all this different stuff. And it is so darn cool. This is one of my favorite things about gamers is when gaming gets combined with some other passion. Mike and I like to 3D print stuff a lot, and that's one of the reasons why we like it, is because there's so many gamers who also like to do things like 3D printing. So there's tons of cool inserts and extra cool bling stuff for board games through 3D printing, and I love when board games mixes with something like crafts or sewing or art or something like that. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of become a theme for me in picking these Murph picks. A lot of times I pick like art pieces or craft pieces because I just think it's so cool. And these ones by Eric Garcia are just, I want to play with this set so badly. I really wish this set was available because I would pay money for this set. I think it is so cool to play this game with real cloth, with real patches. I think it's awesome. Check it out. It's just so cool. All right, so now at the very end, we always talk about our personal favorite game of the month, favorite thing that we played. So Mikey, what was your favorite thing?
My favorite was the Crew Mission Deep Sea, the new Crew.
It's really good. I just don't really want to play the old Crew anymore.
No, we thought the old Crew was like one of my favorite games of all time. We played it and played it and played it.
It still is,
They somehow made a new Crew and like took everything and made it so much better. Like
they did.
Impossibly.
It's astonishing how small changes make a big difference, and took an incredible game and made it like so good. My number one probably the Crew as well. I'll choose something else because it's probably the Crew. The new Crew is amazing. If you haven't tried the Crew, any of them, give them a shot.
Deep Sea.
It's real good. My favorite is gonna be King Domino Origins. Talk about a new version of a game that I already love. King Domino Origins is like the newest version of King Domino, and it's kind of, there's like 3 different ways you can play, and it kind of starts off very, very King Domino-y, and the second one adds a little bit of complexity, third one adds a little bit of complexity. It's kind of a great middle point between King and Queen Domino, but the fact that you can choose those different modules to play with, I actually really, really like, and I just thought it was really cool. I am this to the point where I'm like, okay, cool. We're just gonna play this now.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I don't really feel the need to play King or Queen Domino anymore. I think we'll just choose this one because you kind of have a good range in there anyway. You know,
it lives happily in the middle. So that's our best of the month. We want to know what your best of the months were in the comments below. What's the favorite game, new or old, that you played this month? Hit us in the comments below.
Until next time, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
And we'll see you later.
See you in the next month, everybody.